Yes, welcome to our April 3rd and last of the semester SNA meeting. We just have a couple things to talk to you about. First of all, our guest speaker today is stuck in the OR, so we will have to reschedule her for a later date. Yes, that's one of the things that happen with being a CRNA. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about our car wash that we had last month. We had great success the whole entire time. We had a line waiting for getting to get their car washed. We raised over $400, so that was an awesome event that we had. Yeah. I'm going to hand it over to Kevin, and he's going to talk to you guys about a bunch of things like the budget and the national convention that he just went to. Oh, actually, just kidding. Lydia's going to go first.
Okay, so the points, everything is looking good, and we only have like 10 days left to get everything in. So those of you listening, watch the video because we need everything in by then. Everything's due May 1st, and then after that I'll post like a finals sheet, and then everyone can email me and check and see if all their stuff is listed on there, and then if it's not, I'll fix it or whatever. Then hopefully in the next few days I'll send out the complete one that I sent to all the, I'll send it to Chris Rechtenwald, then she sends it to the professors that give credit to like the 5 extra credit points, and then they give it accordingly. So if you did everything, then they'll give it to you. So they'll look through the list, if that makes sense. And then, but yeah, so really, you need to have your volunteer event, your presentation, your 2 donation drives, which Nurses for Newborn goes on through the 30th or 31st. 30th, yeah. I don't know.
There's the end of the month.
And then, is that all? Volunteer presentation? And then watch this meeting, which you guys are out here, so you guys are probably done, right? Okay, awesome. Yay, good job. I have extra credit points. So do any of you guys have questions? Okay, good. Do you guys think I need to say anything?
I think we're good.
Okay, so just May 1st is the deadline. People watching it May 1st. So otherwise, because I have to send it before finals, and they have to get all the final points in. And last time we were cutting it really close to like them needing to send finals. So May 1st, get it all in. So. Thank you, Lydia. Do you want the first two?
You can talk about it. So for Nurses for Newborns, of course, we have till the end of the month, and then any donation is accepted. So even if it's used baby clothes, or as long as it's gently used, toys. So there's no minimum dollar amount. So
What kind of stuff are you looking for?
Diapers, baby wipes, bottles, pretty much anything. Newborn stuff is preferred, so newborn diapers, newborn onesies, but pretty much anything, any baby item, if it's used, just gently used. Yes.
Do you usually pick the same philanthropies every semester? Do you usually have the same people, the Nurses for Newborn?
Open suggestions and stuff. I volunteer at Nurses for Newborn, so that's what I did for this month. So and new officers can choose different organizations and stuff, or members can suggest different organizations. So it's open.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
And I don't necessarily think that we have to give to these. I mean, do we have to give the specific drive, or can we just give to something?
Any good.
Yeah.
Well, like Celestka, she had a group going to Gambia, so that's how we had that one.
Yeah,
She was like,
so
hey,
something comes up, yeah.
right, anything personal.
Okay.
Any donation.
Last year, you guys were doing the accepting the blood drive donations too.
Right.
Yeah.
The bone marrow. Counted as one.
Yeah. So any donations. You ready?
Yeah. Yes, I'm on the screen. Okay. So first, I guess our budget. If anyone's looking online right now, our budget dollar amount is not quite accurate. There's still some pending to come out, and there's some pending to come in from shirts. However, I was told that takes anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. So that's longer than I had thought it would be. But By the time we're done, we can expect around 600 to 800 in our account. Again, a lot of that unfortunately will disappear at the end of the semester. So we're going to try and do some things for finals, whether that be ordering some food, different things like that. So stay tuned email-wise for that to come in the future. Let's see. Otherwise, UMSL has a new initiative that they just started. It's called UMSL Crowdfund. It basically works off the same premise of GoFundMe or those other sites like that. The difference being, as student organizations, it's specifically for UMSL, and we don't have to reach 100% of our dollar amount that we want to raise in order to get the funds. So if we got 80%, you just kind of scale down. So the basic way it's set up is that it's a 3-month process. There's an application, you assemble a team, and then it's live for 1 month. And the idea being, if we wanted to do this as an organization, we would kind of pitch an event that we would do, a service trip that we would take, and it would be all about that. So if we wanted to take a service trip, or we wanted to take 10 students on a service trip to South America to provide nursing care, we could pitch that. If we wanted to do something in the community here to do like blood pressure screenings, flu shots, things like that, we could pitch that. To give you an idea, the Catholic Student Union raised $10,000 in 1 month to go on a service trip to Nicaragua. So it's pretty awesome. They really reach out to alumni. It is a lot of work to get started, but it has a potential great payoff if we wanted to do something like that. So if you're interested, I have some ideas, but we kind of need the manpower at this point to do something, as it seems like the monetary will kind of work its way out. The last thing I have is just 2 weeks ago was the National Student Nurse Association Conference in Phoenix, and it was exhausting and full of a lot more information than I had anticipated. There was a lot of breakout sessions and different things. The 2 most interesting things were the keynote speech by Gary Lamb, who is a big proponent of communicating, like planning care, and like making sure that the stuff that we were doing as when we're nurses is not just behind the scenes, that it's seen by the patient and that it actually enhances their experience, so they kind of know what their care is doing. She published a recent book with the ANA about that, so it's a little expensive. I think it was around $75, but if you're interested, I'd check it out. And there are some interesting talks about incivility and lateral bullying, which we all know is a problem. The ANA also has a current initiative and statement out right now, so they're planning on kind of having their position on incivility and lateral bullying, and comments are open on their website till the 30th regarding that. Other things, there was a lot of like resume, how to present yourself, how to pitch for your first job, how to get the job that you want to get. So I have a lot of information about kind of developing your resume, setting up your portfolio, things like that. So if you have questions, you can email me. You can find me in person. I'm more than willing to talk about how to kind of get your resume up to par, specifically those who are graduating soon. If they want any suggestions or want me to take a look at anything, I'm more than willing to do so.
Thanks.
Questions?
Your budget?
Yes.
Do you have to use your budget when the year comes to an end? At my junior college, for Phi Theta Kappa, we had to use it all.
Yes.
Or whatever. Or do you carry it over?
So we carry over our budget, anything that we've raised on top of what we were allocated. So for example, this year we sold the t-shirts and hoodies. We initially made a withdrawal from our account to buy those shirts, and then any money that we've earned on top of the initial cost will carry over to next year. However, everything that was allocated from the school, if we don't use it, it disappears.
And how much does the school allocate every semester? I guess
that is variable. This year we had 500 that carried over from the fall. We had 500 from team development, and then we had close to 1,500 for travel.
Well, it's a first semester now, so we will request a budget from SGA. So this past, in January, I submitted a budget to get approved from SGA. And they used to do it yearly, but then they found out that they were allocating money that wasn't being used, and then it was other clubs that needed the money, they couldn't use it, and all this money was going back and that wasn't used by clubs. So now they're doing it 2 times a year. So Kevin and I will submit another budget in a couple of months to get the second semester coverage. So I requested a budget for the fall, and then we'll request it 2 times a year, basically, so that less money is being wasted.
Okay.
And regarding that, we're also, just if anyone has opinions against doing this, we're also considering starting a separate bank account for our organization so that we have easier access to do what we want to do with, say, our car wash money. So we're exploring those options. If anyone has ideas or prefers that we would not do that, please email me or let us know. Voice your opinion.
Code word, Rice Krispies.
Yay.
And don't forget, everything has to be in by May 1st. Get the code word in.
We don't have to say it from
No.
Oh, we need a sheet though.
Yeah.
Have anyone been to their advisor already for next semester?
Yep.
And do you guys have issues with your schedule layout? Is there,
This is the first time that it was good for me, so.
okay.
Are you talking about schedule issues?
Right.
My cohort's having a big problem right now.
Okay. Which cohort are
Class
you
5 days a week, right?
in? When is your graduation
2016.
date?
16 May.
16 May is traditional?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got people scheduled on weekend labs that don't exist, people that got B instead of A. Mine wasn't even up. It took an extra week for it to be up.
And then, you guys have to go to the, go to clinical and then come back from clinical and go to class?
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
That's you guys.
Yeah.
Wednesday,
here, hold on.
You're in adult health too next semester?
Yeah, here, I wrote it down.
Yeah, they have to go to clinical all day and then do class after.
Yeah, I'll have class from 11:30 to 2, and then adult OB 11:30 to 2, adult health 2:30 to 3:45. Tuesday I'll have OB from 7 to 3:30. Wednesday I'll have adult health 2 from 7 to 2, so the clinical for that, and then I'll go to OB class from 2:30 to 5. And then Friday, I'll have adult health 2 from 2:30 to 3:45, and then I'll have peds in October. So I'm going 4 days a week, and I'm off on Thursdays, and I'll be at school for an hour on Friday. And the other schedule had clinical on Friday and Thursday instead of Tuesday.
Does your cohort have a solution to the issue?
When it got leaked to us, like they weren't even going to tell us. They've been hiding it for weeks. And one of the clinical guys needs to stop this because the teachers don't even want it. And a couple of us emailed the dean, and I sent all the conversation that our cohort had on Facebook. And the concise, rude point of the dean's email was like, save up over summer because you're going to be screwed over semester. We considered all your lives and the bills, the children, the houses, your jobs, but it doesn't matter. You're going to school 4 days a week. We have people that are dropping out, moving to part-time weekend, just taking a semester off because they have to work because they're full-time students and get federal aid, so they can't do part-time weekend.
And so who did they email Dean Barr?
Dean Barr, yeah.
And she responded?
And she responded, basically the summary of her email was, save up over the summer because you're screwed over semester, and please forward any other opinions to another lady that none of us knew who she was.
She's I forget her name.
She was a military. We actually all thought she was a guy, so I looked her up. just in case somebody decided to email her and didn't put Mr.
So my cohort's also having some issues, and what they did, they split up a 2-hour class into like come in for 1 hour on Monday, and we have nothing else to do that day except for that 1 hour class. And our issue is that it takes away from a clinical day for us, because our clinical days in your final semester are like, you're pretty much precepting, so you get to pick days and you have to do so many hours. So it takes a clinical day away from us. We can't work. We have to get childcare.
Yeah.
And the classes are only 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
Exams, you get an hour for an exam.
And this class on Friday, it's not like it's even an early morning class or late morning.
Right,
so you
right in the
couldn't
middle
work.
of that, yeah.
I mean, rush hour.
Mhm.
Like you can't even work that day.
So, there are people higher up than Dean Barr that we can talk to.
Well,
but
we didn't know what to do. We figured Dean of Nursing is
yeah.
top notch.
I know this doesn't apply to everyone, so I know you guys are happy with your schedules.
Well, I think, aren't you guys going to have to deal with our schedule, or are you in a different?
I don't understand, because this is the first time I'm going into this, so I haven't experienced anything different.
Well,
so
right
what
now,
is it supposed to be like?
My schedule right now, I have Adult Health 1, I have Psych, early morning Monday, today, and then today is Monday, is it not?
Yeah.
Okay. Your days start running together. I have Psych from 8:30 to 10:50, something like that, and then I have Adult Health 1 from 12 to 2:50, and then I have Clinical or Lab on Tuesday and Wednesday. So 3 days, and then you've got your 2 online classes. You basically have a full week of school without being in school. Like, you have enough work to fill you a week. And then now they're trying to make us go all week, and I have an internship that could turn into a job. You clearly have a job. And it's
So right now, like nursing school, we normally have like 4-hour long lectures once a week, basically, and they're splitting it up.
Why are they doing that?
because they
I know
heard
they
that the
still have a
semester was
couple
really
classes.
hard.
There's still a few classes that are 2-3 hours long, but there's a couple where it's split up for like an hour and 15 minutes what we have.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of a
You could probably answer why
waste.
better.
So the rationale that I got, being nurses, we got to search for the rationale, right?
Yeah.
Is that it is an educational theory, pedagogy, that you learn better through like broken up instances. But if you're coming from clinical, right?
My argument was, you really want me to come sit in a class if I've been around MRSA all day?
Well, that's it's about the learning process and how your brain works.
Yeah.
And so if you have clinical all day, you go through that experience, and you're not forming concrete like knowledge in your head while you're doing it. You need time to reflect on that, and then once you reflect, then you get that concrete knowledge. And having class right after clinical doesn't allow you to reflect, and so that's an issue. Our cohort really, I can't say that we're not, we do like to have, good learning and thought out, presentations and teachings, but the fact it's more economical for us because we all have to come in for an hour on one day. Some people live more than an hour and 15 minutes away, and then people have to get childcare. People have to, can't work that day. They can't do a clinical day that day, so then they have to do a clinical day on another day that they might be able to work. So it's really a pocketbook issue for us, but for you all, for me, I think it's a learning issue for you guys having to come after clinical.
Yeah, because I'm going to be tired and hungry and
I'm
After
wiped
clinical,
out
it's
after
right.
Yeah.
my
Terrible.
brain.
Go
There's
very
nothing
young.
left.
Can't
I
even
can't
study.
read. I can't study. I do nothing.
and it's,
So it would be really hard.
You can sleep for 10 hours.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
and the thing with UMSL is a community
coming from
campus.
fall.
And I mean,
Yeah.
I live more than an hour away. To come to class for 50 minutes is,
And everybody's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to come to class on Fridays. And I was like, I guarantee they're going to put our exams on Fridays to make us come to class.
Well, so now, the first thing that I'm doing is I'm contacting the professor of the class that is in top. And once that's done, then I'm going to talk to Amanda Finley, And once that's done, I go and talk to the dean in between Amanda and Dean Barr, who's new, and I haven't met her yet.
Is it Alan?
No, Dr. Allen
she
is not really in that, but she's very knowledgeable and she could really, give us the reasoning behind it maybe, but she's not really in that chain of command, if you will, for us in our classes. She's more like student services kind of stuff, advising and students having problems with classes, not really the schedule.
I went to the clinical instructor I had for fundies, and then we had students who went to Amanda Finley who, that video's not on, is it?
Yeah.
One of the students went to Amanda Finley, and Amanda had apparently explained it to the point where she completely clapped and was like, I understand this now, but nobody else does. And a couple other people have gone to talk to her.
I think the professors don't want it either.
But the thing is, the professors are
There's nothing they can do about it.
Well, the thing, and they can't, and they don't have a voice like we have a voice, because we are the consumer here. We are paying to go to school here.
And they're upping our tuition.
And but even on that, the administration of the college didn't come to us and say, hey, how do you think we can save money? Or hey, what do you think about this budget shortfall? They said, hey, you're going to end up paying.
Yeah,
and we tried to stop that. What happened there? Nothing.
Right.
They may have, the dean may have come and talked to us, but she didn't listen to us. Nothing changed.
I want communication. I didn't even know who the dean was. They were like, let's email the dean. And I was like, who is that?
Yeah.
So I want somebody to come look me in the face, be like, this is what's happening. Here's the logic behind it. Everything.
If
because
they're
I
doing
see
it-
no logic behind
If they're
this
doing it
stuff.
for our good, if they're doing it for our good, they should probably have asked us if this is our good.
Will this work for you? Because I have friends who we found out about this, and they've already got their summer schedules and next semester schedules out because they work in hospitals and they come out months at a time. And we found this out, and they're like, change all your schedules to fit your schedule next semester that you haven't even made yet. And my friends are like, my schedule's already done. I don't know what to do.
So it sounds like that this is a big issue for your cohort, and I know it is for ours. I know you're going to be gone.
Yeah, because you guys work
Oh,
like
yeah,
12
right.
hours.
Right.
Summer.
Well, they're accelerated. They have all day.
Yeah,
every day,
they're-
which it's not.
Right.
I think it's kind of it's combined issues, but it's two things. So first we have the immediate concern of this new class schedule. And don't get me wrong, that's a serious problem that we need to address. And then the second issue is moving forward, we need to have more open lines of communication with the dean. So I have one idea to address that, which is to have a meeting with her, with a group of students that's designated at the beginning of the year, kind of a diverse group. One person from nights and weekends, one person from, spring of 16, fall of 17, whatever. It doesn't really matter. 3 or 4 people that meet with the dean, the vice dean, and we can at that point kind of pick who we'd like to be in on this. And then they meet once a semester minimum. That way, class schedules are changing. Okay. Like students, the class schedules are changing. This is the reason why. Will this work for you? Okay, then we can say no, it doesn't, or we have a particular concern about a online class. So say for example, people are having a heck of a time with informatics, and that they really don't think that our money is well spent taking this online course that we're not even learning informatics in.
Yes, I agree on that one. Sorry.
Then the students can convey that back. So it's kind of to open a dialogue in both directions. At this point, I think we kind of have gotten to that point of people are starting to be uncivil and say things that they probably shouldn't be saying. And that just increases tensions in both directions.
It's not going to help our cause.
No. So we kind of need to come up with something, and I think the dean will be on board with this. We just have to get people that are really dedicated and want to see this happen. So that's kind of moving forward. But to address the immediate problem, I'm not sure if we can start and implement that right now, if that would help, or
We could have one person from each cohort designated as the spokesperson, the leader, Dan for ours, to get together and have a meeting to discuss the issues, and so that not only can we discuss the issues, but then they can relay information to the cohort, and from the cohort to whoever needs to hear it, back and forth. And that way, it's civil and it's one person and it's a voice for the whole cohort, group of people.
You know, me going to the dean saying I don't like the schedule isn't going to do anything. But if we can get all the students together to make a stand and say, hey, this is not going to work for me, that's going to be more powerful. We have all summer to work this out and to get this done. It is immediate, but worst comes to worst, you know, we just won't show up for class on Mondays. You know, what are they going to? They're going to fail us all because we didn't show up for class Monday, an entire cohort. You know, I mean, and I don't want it to get to that point, but I mean that is action that we could take. But I think we need to get together and sit down and talk more about this. I don't know. We should definitely get our cohorts together in interested parties so we can bounce ideas off of each other and figure out the best path forward.
And for the accelerated group, there'll be a new group that comes in May, so you guys can reach out, new officers can reach out to that group from, right at the beginning, kind of fill them in and let them know and get someone from that group.
I think we need to have someone that's in the preclinical track, because in all honesty, if they're seeing all these changes.
Who says it's not going to occur for them, people coming in?
Yeah,
Right,
because
exactly.
right now I don't even know what the standard is, so I'm coming in with thinking that this is what's usually done, because I didn't know that you guys usually had only 3 days.
Yeah.
This past
Usually you're
semester,
at school for one day, and then you have your clinicals, whichever days that you pick. But now they're like every day.
So let's imagine to have them nominate someone from each cohort.
I think either nominations or people who have actively come and participated in SNA events and meetings and get their points, and so we want someone who's actually engaged, not only with the school but with the organization, because this is kind of something we are doing as an organization to benefit the rest of the nursing students. So we don't just want someone who's coming to one meeting all year long. That's my
Kind of even
opinion.
use it as like a presentation point with that, because if you're going to be meeting with the dean and all who make decisions, I mean, you're kind of getting the in for everybody. So
I think that's more volunteer hours.
Yeah.
Which this is our last meeting of the semester. And, this is kind of off topic, but we need to start planning for next semester. And the thought that popped in my head is if you could plan to have a presentation and you could organize it, then that could count for some of your volunteer hours. And like any member of SNA could do that, so then we could have maybe more presentations happening on South Campus. Just an idea I had. So, go ahead.
the research day that they had on North Campus counted as a presentation. My research day for my class is, just in case some people don't have presentations, May 13th.
And that's too late.
Too late.
So
Yeah, it is. Hey, never mind.
there is Dottie is doing a lecture
Dottie's
tomorrow.
Awesome. If you guys have never had her, she is the best professor.
Tomorrow, 3:30 in the Millennium Student Center. It's the last lecture series, and she's retired, so she's really awesome.
If you guys don't, and if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to her lecture, I would encourage you to come on Tuesday. She's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
So that's next Tuesday. 28th. Yeah.
28th. What time is that?
3:30.
3:30. All right. And that will be
And that counts as a presentation. So.
last minute presentation. All right. Anything else?
I thought about that, for the end of this semester, I think it's probably too late to do almost like a finals field day kind of thing, out in front of Seton, with cornhole and things like that. But I think it's getting too late, so maybe we can plan beginning of next semester,
We had one at the beginning of this year.
yeah. So.
Kind of do like a little field day, try to get everybody in on it.
So we can kind of start planning for the fall now. But
Do you guys have meetings over the summer? No, not usually.
No.
No, but there was
They
things for the
accelerated
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 program.
program.
sometimes
Well.
does stuff so we can get points, so.
Which
They'll have
will
a
be-
donation drive or volunteer hours.
Yeah.
Right, a modified something so the people who are going to school during the summer can still get extra credit points and still be involved.
Oh, I see.
It's not quite the same.
And the
as-
part-timers.
Right, the people who go during the summer. It would be modified because I'm not at school during the summer, so no point. And
So I'll be around during the summer.
So who is taking over the role of president for the fall?
we have Sydney.
Oh, Sydney? Hi, Sydney.
All right.
Do you guys have a roster, like with everybody's phone number or an email address and all that, or is that, where is that?
There's one working, I just finished putting the new officers on. Yeah, you can forward it on to her, yeah.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Also, if you want to reach out to all the members, then you go on WorkSync and you can send out a message.
And
You have-
or
you-
sync, you just type in your UMSL ID and password. It's really easy.
Like you're going, like kind of like logging, just like logging onto my gateway.
Yeah.
And do you guys ever send out like reply emails? Cause I mean, it only has to be once, but I don't know if you guys get my messages or not. Like if I send you the presentation points and stuff, I don't know if you got it till like, May when it's kind of late or something.
Lydia is like those. If you're like doing things, Lydia is always looking through the emails and updating the list. So you can just look at the updated list to make sure that she has you marked down for it. But she's always looking at the emails and always updating the list. I was thinking.
And those all go to SNA@UMSL.edu.
Yeah.
Are your points correct on the sheet?
They weren't last time, and I emailed her, and that's why I asked her now, and she said she did get it. She just didn't reply back to my email. So I was just wondering, because I was here.
Okay.
I just had to make it clear. But yeah, everything's pretty much good. I sent it to SNA. So.
Great. Awesome. Is that it?
Yep.